Hey there friends, Nibs again. Out here in the garage tonight, doing a little bit of goofing around, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on this pretty cool little Benjamin that is very obscure. This one's got a little bit of history out here in the garage already. I had this one in the garage one time. The owner of one of the local gun shops had this and actually wanted it for himself. But it was leaking air. It was only leaking out of the seal up here at the top at the time. And he asked me to take a look at it for him. I was able to find an O-ring and get that sealed up, and it was actually working. I shot it several times in the garage here, and it was working really good. He took it home and used it a few times. Then he had a critter out in the backyard, and he was going to take it out and shoot it and put a new cartridge in there. And the first time he shot it, after he shot it the first time, everything just leaked out of it. So the exhaust valve gave up on it. And he brought it back into the store, and when I went in there the next time, he said, so that gun you worked on for me, he wasn't like telling me I did something wrong, but that gun you worked on for me before has got another problem. And he said, do you want to take it and work on it for me, or maybe you just want to buy it? So he gave me an offer, and I ended up picking it up. I brought it home, and I took a look at it, and I probably could have fixed it. I would have needed to spend about $65 or $70 on a special pair of inside split ring pliers. Very specialized. I only found one place that sold them, and it was a kit that you had to buy, and it was like 70 bucks. And I'm not gonna probably not gonna fix too many more of these. So rather than waste my money and have the tool here and never use it again, I just packed this thing up. I had actually already asked Henry Ford from Crossman 600 Repair to send me a kit. He sent me the kit, and then I realized that it just wasn't. I didn't want to spend the money on that tool to just have it, never get used again. So I sent it over to him. He has all the tools. I mailed it off to him. He fixed it up really good, and it's actually been sitting here. I left it purposefully sitting for like a week and a half now. I took a couple of shots off a fresh CO2 cylinder, and now we're just going to test it out here and see how it did after sitting for about a week and a half. This little guy only uses the 8-gram CO2 cartridges. You can find them. They're not terrible to find, but I actually found a bunch of these on Amazon and bought a bunch of them. Originally, I bought those for my Healthways Plainsman Model 175, and I shoot that every now and then. But this guy here actually uses them too. This is an air hog. It's a 22 caliber, and it shoots pretty hard. So you only get about 20 shots from a cartridge, but it's got some power, and we're gonna go ahead and give it a try. So I've got some 22 caliber Crossman Premier hollow points out here. Nothing too strenuous. I have a can over across the garage here that I just started punching some holes in. It's got a few holes in it already from the Apache Fireball. But we're going to go ahead and take a few shots with this guy and see how it's done as far as holding air. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's got a pretty good punch to it, which is, I believe, why you only get about 20 shots off that little 8-gram CO2, which I guess isn't too bad, really. But it's got a pretty decent little trigger on it. It's not bad. It's just a very, very basic little gun. But I bet you could dispatch a squirrel with this, no problem, or some pesky bird out in the backyard for sure. Really pretty cool. I'm not sure what the deal is with this whole little cap up here, because where it screws in is way down here. Then you just got this whole piece of metal up here in the front. Really kind of I don't know if it's just to give it a little bit of a more of a heft or whatever, but I think when I first got this from Henry, I shot it several times with the CO2 that he had left in here when he shipped it back to me, and then I put a fresh one in. I only took a few shots off it, so we're still working off a fairly fresh CO2 here. What was that, 3? I'm not going to keep you on for the whole thing, but we're going to... I really want to get this thing out to outside and set up a steel target and do some patinging with it. But I love shooting these cans. Can cutting. That 24 caliber Apache was really doing a number on that can for sure. We'll just keep plinking, see what we can do, see if we can get that can cut before the CO2 cartridge runs out. Henry did a really good job of sealing it up though. The mechanism is actually pretty simple inside. It really is pretty straightforward, but the main thing is you got to have so the CO2 cartridge goes way back here like this, and then way down at the tip of the CO2 cartridge, about 4 inches down inside, there's a split ring there, and that's what you gotta be able to reach down in there with the set of split ring pliers and grab hold of it and compress them enough to get it out. So it really is a very specialized pair of... Oh, I think we're just about done. May have weeped out just a little bit. Oh, yep. All right. Or maybe I took a few more shots than I remember. I don't know. Oh, jeez. So there you go. You know what? I think this may have been one of Henry's, because that's not one of mine. Mine are all silver in color. That's kind of a gold color. Maybe I remember what I did improperly. Maybe I didn't put a new cartridge in it, because here's all of mine. Mine are all the silver color. This is kind of golden color. You can see the difference there. So I think maybe that was still the same cartridge from when Henry sent it over. So before anybody says anything, this seals up here at the top. If I was going to put oil in here, it's not a horrible idea to put a drop of oil on still on the tip of it, but it's really not as necessary. When you want to really put the oil on the tip of the CO2 cartridge is when the pellet gun that you're sealing up has a seal down inside that the neck of the CO2 cartridge actually seals up against. So I do, even on occasion, put a drop on the tip, so that'll work some oil down into the down into the action as well. But So this, like a lot of other older guns, pierces the CO2 on its first shot. Oof. Wow. Yeah, that's got some power now. There you go. Wow. That's pretty loud. I need a silencer on this guy. But there you go. So that was actually the cartridge that Henry sent it, and I thought I had swapped out the cartridge. Guess I was having a Biden moment there. But what a cool little gun. So this was the model 352. As you guys see from the 352 was only made for a very short time, and then they actually came out with the model 362. I'm not sure what the differences are, but they changed the model number for some strange reason. But really cool gun. This has a brass rifled barrel inside of a steel outer jacket. So Benjamin and Sheridan both like their brass barrels because their their idea was that CO2 and other air sources like that would generate moisture, and a lot of people didn't have a real good tendency to clean their air guns, and they thought the barrels would get rusty. So the brass won't rust, so if you shoot it and there's a little bit of moisture left in there, it's not going to harm the brass barrel like it will a steel barrel. So that was the rationale behind them using brass inserts instead of steel rifled barrels. But there you go. I'm going to get this guy out to the range. We'll do some, got a couple other old obscure 22 CO2 guns out here we can play around with to put this up against. But I thought you guys would appreciate a little bit of an update on this old guy, and really is working good. Lots of fun. Hope you guys liked the video. Till next time, have a great day.